guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and welcome to my craft room. This is my WiP It Wednesday video where I show you what I've worked on in the craft room this week, whether I worked on it for just a couple minutes or it was my main focus for the week. I feel that I was pretty unfocused this week and I worked on a little bit of everything, so there's no main project that I worked on. This is my... I want to call it my messy quilt. This is the baby quilt that I worked on this week. You're going to be seeing this also on my Sew With Me Friday, where I'm discussing different ways to use our string blocks, and I just kind of made it all into one quilt. I made a string block sampler. If you pop back to yesterday's Talk to Me Tuesday video, you'll be able to see it when I first put it together and then when I kind of rearranged the rows, because it's not messy, not ugly, it's just I threw a lot of things together into this quilt. I love the colors and I love the brightness, and it's going to work great for a baby, but I definitely would not want to put all of these together into a quilt for my bed. But I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I'm not going to say I love the quilt, but I like it. I like the colors and I like the brightness with the white on it and everything. So it's going to stay as it is, and I will be donating this, and it will be quilted, turned into a baby quilt, and donated. And because I don't have enough of anything else going on during the week, I decided to throw one more project in, something I can work on daily or weekly. I've decided to definitely do the 9 patch a day, which sometimes I will do 7 9 patches and then go ahead and just do that for the week instead of daily. I may work on it a couple times during the week, or I may get them all done in one day. I've been posting these over on Instagram, so if you want to see a couple of them a day over there. And the way I'm making these is I have this mini charm pack sampler. It's from Moda Bake Shop. I don't think this has a year on it, but I definitely bought this many years ago. I actually think I might have won this on a blog hop or something, because this isn't something I normally would purchase, because it has a lot of fabrics. As you see, I have some more started here. These types of fabrics aren't really what is my style. So that's why they've been sitting around for a long time, because I haven't used them, because it's definitely not, these aren't my colors and stuff. See, a lot of these are very dark, and while I like, ooh, that was pretty right there. That's like a black with, can you see the gold on there? It's black with a whole bunch of little, oh, there's more things underneath it. Whatever, I don't want to pull it out, but there's little leaves and stuff and gold specks. But anyway, a lot of these colors, now these colors are mine. And I like a lot of these colors because they're all fun and quirky, so that's definitely for me. But a lot of these ones that are the paisleys and the different colors, they're not necessarily my style. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and put these all together into 9 patches. And I can do it leader ender style, or I can go ahead and just work on them periodically throughout the week whenever I have a couple minutes to sew and I want to sew, but I don't have time for a whole project or to really dig into one. So I just started these up. I believe I have 9 of them for now. And I'll be adding more to them later. I could go from the first day that I started in March here and go a year from then, or I can try to catch up and make extra and backtrack to January 1st so that it would be for an entire year of 2019. If you're interested in following along with me, I decided on using the hashtag 9patchaday 2019. It's the beginning of the year still. It's March. We're in the first 3 months. No one else has used it yet. Not many people have done a 9 patch a day. And when we did these back in 2009, there wasn't Instagram. So that would be a hashtag that hasn't been used. I have some people that are joining me over on Instagram. So if you want to go ahead and join along too, you can use that hashtag on Instagram or Facebook. Or just join along and you can send me pictures to my email. Did I show you, wow, that is a crazy background for all this. Did I show you my last block that I did for hand piecing? I don't remember. But I did finish up this block, and now I'm going to be able to, all 9 blocks are out, I believe, so now I'm just going to be playing catch up, and I'll be going ahead and getting the next one cut up and ready to start hand stitching this week. Now that is it on the sewing, so if you're not interested in seeing any knitting and crochet, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next week. Now for those of you guys that either enjoy knitting and crochet or just like to see what I'm working on, let me show you what I've started this week. Now, I don't think many of you know that crochet was my first love. I taught myself how to crochet before I taught myself how to knit, or I taught myself how to quilt. You notice a little trend here? I just kind of like wing things and figure it out on my own. But I haven't been able to crochet for several years now because of problems with my shoulder. I was given a set of these crochet hooks with these little ergonomical handles on them for my birthday. Thank you so much. And I'm testing them out to see if it's going to help with my shoulder or if I'm still going to have problems crocheting. So as you see, I just have basic acrylic yarn here, some Caron 1-pounder in gray, and some Red Heart Super Saver. This is medium gray mix, and this is hot red. I had these in my stash, and Rob has been pretty cold because of the chemo and everything. So we've been trying quilts don't keep him warm because he's not really generating heat. And I think a lot of things with blankets and quilts is you have to generate the heat for that blanket to hold the heat into you, that it doesn't always necessarily just make you warm on its own. Now he's tried some crocheted afghans I've made for him before, but I made several. I made like the ones with the starburst with all the zigzaggy edges. You start from the center and work your way out, and it's kind of like a granny square, but it's all rippled. If you're a crocheter, you'll probably know it as a round ripple. But because it has a lot of holes in it, any heat he does generate tends to go right out of those holes. Now those afghans were perfect for him several years ago when he was running hot, and all those holes that are in the crochet naturally, they would help let some of that extra heat out so he would stay warm in the winter, but he wouldn't get boiling hot. So I decided I'm going to try and make him a different type of afghan. I'm crocheting this one. Now while this one has, you can see some little bit of light going through, this has a shell stitch. Here you can see it in the red. It kind of looks like a seashell, and that's why it's called a shell stitch. And I'm just going through, this is the hooded baby blanket from Lion Brand. You can see it down below. I have it linked up in my Ravelry page, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just kind of alternating however I want. I have one of these grays and 2 reds, so I'm trying to make him a nice size lapghan. I'm using an L hook, which is kind of humongous. It's a 8mm. Normally it calls for maybe, I think the pattern calls for an I hook. The yarn also calls for an I hook, but I went up to the L because I wanted something that wasn't super tight and dense and heavy, because he also doesn't want anything heavy laying across of him. So I wanted to go up a little higher, and I thought if I went to a larger hook, it would also be easier on my shoulder. And I said I'm just kind of crocheting along, and I decided just, oh, well, it looks like I'm going to throw a red in here. Then I threw in a couple grays and then a red. And I think I'm going to do a couple grays and one more red. Then I'll do some more gray and then I'll throw some more red in. I'm not following a set stripe pattern. There is a random stripe generator that you can get online. But I thought, well, I don't know. I'm just going to randomly do it. Whenever I feel like changing it, whether I want to put a big chunk of red in there or something, then I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Because I don't know how much yarn it's going to take. And I just want to make sure I kind of mix it up pretty good so that it looks pleasing, and it's also, I'm not going to run out of one color and have to buy more. Or add in a third color at the end of it. So it's pretty wide. It's wide enough for him to go across his lap and to tuck him in. I started with a foundation crochet because, I mean, sometimes when you're looking at it, it looks like it curves a little, but that's just because as I'm crocheting it, I'm kind of, the way you're holding it and moving it, it kind of automatically curls. But I did the foundation crochet because it has a nice bit of stretch to it and it won't curl in. So once it's all done and I get more weight to it, this will go ahead and pull out and it'll be nice and straight. You see, it's not too bad over here and it's easy to stretch out. So that's what I am working on. This is my, when I first wake up in the morning project, and then I usually start working on this after 7 p.m. at night. I don't want to spend hours crocheting on it because I don't want to take a chance of blowing out my shoulder. So that's been pretty fun to work on. Oh, and here's the container that I received, the little storage place for all of the crochet hooks, and they come in all different sizes. This one comes through D through K. And if you're a crocheter, you'll be as amazed, you might be as amazed as I am, but this also comes with a 7, a 4.5mm. This size is one of those rare unicorn sizes. It's very hard to find. When you go and you buy crochet sets at like Walmart and stuff, you don't get these. That's a special one you have to find online, and it's not easy to find. This was from Does it focus? This is Athena's Elements. You can find them on Amazon. It has this little center zip part with all the little accoutrements that you might need. It's got your stitch counter, your row counter. It's got the stitch markers, tape measure, and what I like is it has 2 different sizes of your yarn needles to weave in your ends. So that's nice to always have extra ones of those. And it even has a nice pair of sharp scissors that is purple, and it comes with a little protector. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out because I have another crochet project to show you. This is in a cotton blend. This is a 50% acrylic, 50% cotton blend. It is from Hobbycraft in the UK. You cannot see it very well, but I am so pleased. I am using a J hook. This is a most popular hook to use for crochet, the amigurumis, and it's in purple. So once again, I get to use my favorite color. This doesn't look like very much yet, but you might be able to, once I tell you what it is, you might be able to recognize this a little bit. This is the snout of a dragon. Those are his 2 little nostrils. Of course, this is not his tongue. This is just the beginning where I started it. So I haven't gotten very far yet. This yarn is a little bit thin, so it's going to be, you're going to spend a lot of time making rounds and not showing a lot of progress. But this is Felix the Dragon. I am going to be making a stuffed animal, which is considered an amigurumi when you're crocheting. And then I'll be making a second one, which will be a lovey, and it has the head of the dragon, and it has like the wings and stuff like that, but it's on a crocheted blanket for a baby. If I can get a picture up here, I will. Otherwise, go ahead and pop down the Ravelry, and I have these linked in my Ravelry page also. They are adorable. This is going to be fun to see come into life, and it's going to be really fun to work on. I hope that these crochet hooks really work because I love to make stuffed animals, and I love to make loveys. Loveys are so fun because you just make a small blanket, and it has part of a stuffed animal on it, which is crocheted the whole thing 100%. And they're just adorable. I really enjoy working on those. Okay, now I am working on my Pioneer. I believe they're called Pioneer gloves. Everything yarn related is going to be down below in Ravelry. When I showed it to you guys last, I just finished the purple section. I just started going up into the ribbing. I am doing them 2 at the same time. As you can see, that a lot easier now. Once you start getting a little bit further, it just makes it so much easier to knit. The weight of the yarn will start pulling down, and the gravity will help you work on it a little bit. Plus, as you're knitting, I hold on to the project, so the more I have to hold on to, the easier the knitting gets. But it has this nice fun ribbing. The entire mitt is going to be ribbed after this little rolled cuff that's here. And when you're doing the ribbed cuffs, the ribbed mitts like this, it really helps because when the whole glove is ribbed, if you don't know the exact size of someone's hand, the ribbing will either stretch or shrink in to fit them. Now she has a hand size that's about close to mine. I'm not going to go ahead and put it on because it's kind of hard when I don't have too much yet. But it fits nicely, and it's going to be a nice snug mitt, and that's how I like mine. I don't want my gloves to be like loosey-goosey, and you don't want extra of the fabric just hanging around. I like my gloves when they're yarn like this. I like them to fit snugly but not too tight. I still want to be able to move my hands around, of course. And these are the ones that are going to be matching the cowl and the hat that I've already knit. I am trudging along on the log cabin mitts. I have both of them. I believe they are both done. Now at this point, I'm supposed to go ahead and wash them and block them so that make sure that they're both 7 inches and they're both the same size. I've got them. These are on waste yarn. These are on stitch holders, so I'll probably put these on waste yarn so I can go ahead and get them wet and block them. And that way it'll make sure that both of these are the same size because you give them a little bit of a stretch. And then I'll be ready to go to the point where it's going to wrap around your hand and I can start making the side and the glove and finishing it off. I'm at a standstill on these just because I need to go ahead and wash these and block them. At least make sure they're the same size. And then they'll be ready to go. It's the purple theme show because in my purple bag with the purple lining, I had to switch this to a bigger bag. This is the news newsprint cowl from Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern down on Ravelry. And when I showed this to you last week, I was still casting on the stitches. And now I've gotten several rows done. It's going to be one of those cowls that you can wrap around your neck twice, so it's going to be nice and warm. But at the same time, this is a little bit airy and it's not super tight of a knit. But because it is, I believe this is a wool blend. It might be a wool and linen blend. I'd have to look it up. I don't have the tags right here in front of me. But any part of it, I believe everything I'm knitting for my friend has a basis of wool in it. So once you have wool in it, you know that's going to help it breathe and keep you warm at the same time. And once you wrap this around your neck double, it'll definitely be warm. Now this I have to knit until it's about 11.5, 12 inches tall. And then, like I said, it's going to get wrapped around twice. There are a lot of stitches on here, 348 to be exact, so it does take quite a while to get around. And I'm alternating the colors because it's a free pattern. I'm not giving away any secret sauce. What you're doing is you're doing 2 of this creamy tan natural color and 1 black. Now what you're seeing here, you think that this is the pretty side, right? This is all nice and pretty and that's the way it's going to be. But no, you actually knit it inside out. And then when you wear it with this side. It's all the rage right now. I don't know. I like the really pretty side. But this isn't for me. I do like this side also. It does have a nice texture and look to it, and I think that's what they're going for. Plus, I think part of the thing you're doing it this way is after you wrap it around twice, as it's hanging down off of your neck, you're going to also see the inside of it. So it's going to give you that contrast of both of them, and I think that's the reason why they wrote the pattern this way. I've seen many sweater patterns that are written the same way. You knit them the wrong way, and then this is the way you wear it on the outside because people are really into this look of the texture and everything. You definitely have to commit to what you're going to do because when you're working with this one, you can't see it much right now, and it's not all that noticeable, but I'm going to be carrying this yarn up the front as I'm switching colors. So you're going to see a definite line going up here. And if you put that in the back of your shirt, your collar, it wouldn't be too bad. If you were to go ahead and want to wear it the other way around, and you put that on the back of your cowl or in one of the little twists, it wouldn't be noticeable. So I guess you could still decide either way if you wanted to wear it one way or the other, or both ways, different days. So that's it for me this week. I told you I worked on a little bit of everything, but I really didn't dig into anything too much. So Rob and I are on a new routine now. Things have been changed up a little bit. The days that we have to go into the cancer center, we're still doing the chemo every Thursday with having 1 week off every month. We're having a little bit more freedom now during the week so that we can do other things and just have to fit other life things into it. We're still pretty busy here at the house, but things have changed up a little bit and our appointment schedules have changed up a little. So I'm just trying to find my new routine for my crafting and see where it can fit into the week. And I might start picking a day for each project. Like maybe I'll just work on this project on Mondays instead of trying to work on everything every day or everything a couple days of the week. Maybe I'll just really spend a good amount of time, 2-3 hours on a project a day so that I can get good progress on it. And then that way, there's 7 days in a week. I should be able to get good progress on 7 projects that way, right? I mean, it makes sense in my head. We'll see how it works in reality. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you've been enjoying these videos, and ring that little bell if you want YouTube to let you know every time I put up a video. Until next time, be crafty. Bye!